Hello all and welcome back to Swapnil's analysis. Today we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem by Sylvia Plath, that is Daddy. The poem is about the speaker, probably Sylvia, who is now delusioned about the memories of her father and also of some another person, probably her husband, and how so many scholars believe that she had written this poem right before committing suicide. Everyone is know that Sylvia Plath she had committed suicide. That's why how she died at the age of 30. So here everyone believes that before committing suicide or before she had what we can decided, okay, now I'm going to commit suicide, at that moment she had finished this poem. She probably had finished this poem and committed suicide. The poem is very peculiar. I call it peculiar because the feelings reflected in the poem is a sort of love and hate kind of a relationship between a daughter and her deceased father. The speaker of the poem, till the last moment of her life, had been grappled with the memories of her father. Because Sylvia's father, he died when she was 8 years old. And therefore Sylvia had no memories of her father. And therefore throughout her life she suffered from an Electra complex. What is an Electra complex? In Electra complex, the daughter is attracted towards the father in most of the cases, and she marries a person who is a complete look-alike of her father. And this poem probably have been written during the period when Sylvia was separated from her husband, famous poet Ted Hughes, those 4 months before committing suicide. And what she would do at that time, that she would wake up at 4 a.m. and then she would go on writing till the 8 a.m. before the waking up of her children. That was the very fertile period, considered to be a very fertile period of Sylvia's life. So Sylvia in this poem speaks about her father, means the speaker in this poem, for her father is a kind of a god. But suddenly she realizes that her father, he wasn't a god but a kind of a devil. So therefore in the first stanza she very candidly express her desire. What does she say in the first stanza is that you do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or achoo. So here she is probably standing before a portrait of her father and addressing to her father, saying that, okay, please stop haunting me. Probably request like a children's song, that you do not do, there is a repetition, any more black shoe, means you should stop haunting me, because for the whole of my life I have suffered. It wasn't a very glorious journey for me. I have suffered for your memories. It was a kind of a suffocating, like our food feels when we continue to wear our shoes for whole week. Our foot it becomes white because of lack of oxygen. In the same way, she felt very smothered. So she is in a kind of a way begging her father that he must not haunt her because he is a kind of center of attention for her. And again, she considered her father as a kind of a god. Because remember, here in the real life, Sylvia had no memories of her father. Because she died at the means when her father died, she was around 7 to 8 years old. So whatever she learned about her father, that was from her mother, grandmother, and acquaintances of her father. She had no personal memories. Therefore, she had a kind of attraction towards her father, and that, in a way, had affected her psychologically. So, in the second stanza, she says that, Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God. Ghastly statue with one great toe, big as Frisco sill, and hailed in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours being green over blue, and the waters of beautiful Nasser. I used to pray to recover you, Ark 2. So here you will find so many German words used by Sylvia Plath here in this poem because her father, he was a German and he had migrated to New York, means to America, and therefore she has used so many German words. I mean, not so many, but a few of German words. So why does here speaker says that, Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. I have had to kill you means by the memories, because until and unless I move forward, because she had got stuck with the memories of her father. And again it is a kind of a complaint in the second line. You'd notice that you died before I had time, means I did not even realize and you died, because I did not know, I have no memories about you. And that is here she is complaining that you did not give me chance. Because here imagine a child, a small child around 8 years old, when she grows up and later on she was informed that okay, your father, he has died, and she has no memories, she has no memories of her father, and she is here for all her life has longed for the fatherly love. She has missed the fatherly love. She has no love from her father, and therefore it affected Sylvia psychologically. And the poem is full of autobiographical images, and therefore she says that she considered her father as a god. But later on, towards the end of the poem, she realizes that her father, who actually wasn't a god but a kind of a devil who tampers with the psychology of the subjects, his subjects. So here the poem takes a very drastic changes as it progresses. So here in the fourth stanza, she says, in the German tongue, in the Polish town, scalpel flat by the roller of wars, wars, wars. But the name of the town is common, my Polak friend, says there are dozen or two. So what here he says, she is saying that, the speaker is saying that when she tried to know about the root of her father, when she visited the German town, the Poland town. Her Polish friend, he informed her that the name she was looking after, means the name of the village of her father, she was looking after, it is a very common name in the Germany and Poland border. So you may not be able to find the perfect address or the perfect village of your father. So what here is saying that I tried my best to find about your roots, but the name of your village was so common, and I had no idea which was exactly the village you come from. Means, for instance, let us say the name of the village of her father, for instance, here in India, like Gandhinagar. There are so many Gandhinagars in India. Which Gandhinagar? There are so many states, and every states, every district has one Gandhinagar. So that was the common name of the village of her father, and her Polish friend also informed or warned her, okay, this is a very naughty situation for you, this could be a very naughty situation for you to find the exact or the precise village of your father. So I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you, the tongue stuck in my jaw. Here she tried to find about the roots of her father, but she could not, because she was unable to speak the German language. It was very difficult for her. Therefore, she says that tongue stuck in my jaw. When one tried to speak a German language, the pronunciation is a kind of a very difficult or the different one for the English speakers. So what here she is saying that I tried my best. I tried to learn the German language. I tried to dig out more information about your root, but somehow I could not. Means I tried my best, but somehow I could not. So I have no idea about root. Even I tried to communicate with you, because now one might ask what was the need of her to learn the German language, because in the end, see, most of the religions, people pray to the God in the language he understands. Means, for instance, in the Christianity, the Latin was considered as the language of God. The Bible, it was written itself in the Latin language. In the Hindu religion, the Pandit, he speaks the mantras and the stotras in the Sanskrit language. So therefore, here she considered her father as a god, and as he was from Germany and his mother tongue was German, or his first language was German, therefore to convey her ideas, to convey her message, she tried to learn the German language. Therefore she says that I tried my best, but the tongue stuck in my jaw. Means the words I was unable to pronounce. It stuck in a barbed wire snare. Ick, ick, ick. I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene. What here is that I tried my best, but somehow it was very difficult for me to pronounce the word. And therefore, what she has heard, what she has learned here, she's tried to explain that ick, ick, ick means it is very difficult for me. I could hardly speak. And then, after she was unable to find the more information about her father, what she did, she tried to consider every German as her father. Every German, because her father, he was from Germany, and the language was very obscene. Means she started hating the language, because she could not speak. Then, as she mentioned here that I thought every German was you, then the Holocaust imagery starts here, because the poem is also very famous for the Holocaust images used by Sylvia Plath. See here, see, now as every German was her father, then her father, he becomes the Nazi person, and she, as a victim, she becomes a Jew, which she has disclosed in the second part of, means the later part of the poem. What does she say here? An engine chuffing me off like a Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. Then she says that she is a Jew, and her father, who is a German, he is that Nazi oppressor who is harassing the Jew. Because see, for Jewish people, the memories of Holocaust is a psychological thing. They are very scared of those memories of Holocaust. Whatever they have gone through, their suffering and everything had affected them psychologically. In the same way, it is a kind of a metaphor she is using, that her father is a Nazi, and as a victim, Sylvia, or the speaker, she is a Jew, means she has also suffered. Here she is trying to relate her suffering to the sufferings of the Jews, and how she is impacted or affected by the death of her father, who have affected her psychologically. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna are not very pure and true. With my gypsy ancestors and my weird luck and my tarot pack, I may be a bit of Jew. What here she says, that if you are not aware about the Nazi atrocities, that Nazi people, they harassed or oppressed two communities of Europe. First, that was Jew, and second, that was Gypsy. Why? Why Gypsy? Because they considered, means Nazi people or the Hitler, he considered Gypsy people as impure, Jewish people also as impure, and only the Irish blood or Irish people as a pure blood, and as an Iron Man, or as a not Irish but as an Aryan race, beg my pardon, not Irish but Aryan race, he has the right to rule over the world. Aryan race as a superior race of the humankind, with blue eyes, white skin, everything. So and the Jew and Gypsy people, they he considered as non-Aryan or impure, and therefore they deserved punishment. So here she is saying that she is a Jew, and her father, here he is a kind of an oppressor. Here we will have to think about why she suddenly started considering her father as a devil. Why she is using the images that her father, he has oppressed her. She is a victim because now she has got disillusioned. She has realized that her father, he has died long back, and she has wasted, means according to her, she has wasted all her life in the memories of her father. Therefore suddenly she has started considering her father as a villain, as a devil. Therefore she is comparing him to the Nazi person, or a German. I have always been scared of you, with your Luftwaffe, your gobbledygook, and your neat mustache, and your Aryan eye, bright blue. Panzerman, Panzerman, oh you. Then she says that she's describing, means that famous portrait of Hitler with his very rugged look in his eyes, that you'll find on the cover page of Mein Kampf. That is the perfect Aryan race with his small mustache, his angry look in the eyes. And here she says that she has always been very scared of you. Why? Because he was a German, he was oppressor, and mentally she always tried to communicate with her father. She was haunted by the memories of her father. And therefore now, after being disillusioned, after being knowing that her father he was from Germany, then she says, okay, I am a Jew and my father he is my oppressor. Mentally. So not God but a swastika, so black no skies could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist. The boot in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. So here she says that every woman adores a fascist, means a woman they are attracted towards very aggressive people. A boot in the face, the brute heart, the brute like you. She considers her father as an oppressor and a very brutal person, a brutal person who does not care of her feelings. Therefore, she says that her father he did not care of her feelings. Why? Because he died too early. Therefore, in the second stanza of the second lines, she says that Father, you died too early, before I had time. I did not even realize, and you died because you are a feelingless person. A brutal person means a feelingless person. He doesn't have feelings, he doesn't sympathize with the other person's feelings. Therefore, a brutal person. But every woman adores a fascist, means women are attracted towards these kinds of attractive men. She is here saying, you stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you. A cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that. No, not any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. Now, because here she is addressing to her father, the speaker is addressing to her father, and she is going through the memories, and now she has stumbled upon, now she is holding the picture of her father standing in front of a blackboard, because Sylvia's father he was a professor. So she says that I have the picture of you, you are standing in front of a blackboard, and still in that photograph you are looking no less than the devil. You are looking like a black person or a black man who has beaten my red heart into two. You have broken my heart. Now why you have broken my heart? You have broken my heart because you have died early, and I have no memories of you, and I have longed for my whole life for a fatherly love. And therefore she is considering her father as a brutal man, as a feelingless person. Therefore, my pretty red heart into two. I was 10 when they buried you. Means I was 10 means here in the poem, when the speaker saying that when I was 10 years old, they at that time when you had died. But at 20 I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. What here she is informing her father, because here the speaker is addressing to her father the portrait of her father, and she is saying that I even tried to commit suicide when I was 20 years old, thinking that okay, if I die then they would bury me beside your grave, and then we would at least have the chance, means I would at least have a chance to die next to you. our bone, they would mash together, they would stay together. So that she had thought, coming back to her father. Then they pulled me out of the sack and they stuck me together with glue, and then I knew what to do. I made a model of you and a man in black with a Mein Kampf look. Then she says that at that moment, people, they tried to persuade me that nothing is going to happen. Even if you die today, you are not going to meet your father. Then they tried to persuade me. Then they tried to brainwash me. And then I realized that what to do. Then she made a model of you. Means what is it? Then I made a model of you means she decided, because this thing happens with a person who is suffering from Electra complex, that a woman, she marries a person who is completely a lookalike of her father, be it a one category, be it look, be it height, be it speaking style, be it education, any kind of category. So here she married a person who was completely lookalike of her father. Even means, for instance, even if you Google the photograph of Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath's father, you will find that they are identical. They are very similar in look. They are completely lookalike of one another. Therefore, when Sylvia met Ted Hughes in that party, she immediately got attracted toward Ted Hughes because he was completely lookalike of her father. She was completely fallen in love with Ted Hughes, and therefore, after meeting Ted Hughes, she got married right after 4 months later. It's very quickly, because she did not want to lose Ted Hughes. So, what she did, she invented an idea to get away from her father. Therefore, in the second stanza, commences that daddy, I have had to kill you, because she at that time had got married. Then she says that, a love of the rack and the screw. And I said, I do, I do. Means she got married to the person who is completely lookalike of her father. She got the idea how to get away from the memories of her father. Then, so daddy, I am finally through. Means I am finally through of your memories, because now there is another man in my life. And black telephones off at the root, and the voices just can't warm through. And so I got completely disconnected from your memories after marrying that person. If I have killed one man, I have killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year, 7 years. If you want to know, daddy, you can lie back now. What she is saying, that I got married to that person who said he was you. Means actually Ted Hughes, if you read, he did not say anything like that. It was Sylvia who got attracted towards Ted Hughes because he was a complete lookalike of her father. That is the thing. And when she realized that Hughes, he was cheating on her, she considered it as a betrayal as done by her father by dying early. And therefore she says that I have killed one man and I have killed two. Means now she has decided that two men, they have betrayed her. And mentally now she is going away from these two people. Therefore killing means going away from these two people, their memories at least. So the last stanza here has described, she has described her father as a kind of a devil, and people, they have conquered or killed that devil. See, there is a stake in your fat black heart. Black heart means again emotionless. And the villagers never liked you. and they are dancing and stamping on you and always knew it was you. Means what here she is saying, that you are a devil, I always knew. And here what she has created a kind of a image where villagers, they have murdered a devil who was haunting them, who was scaring them, and now they had pierced, means they had pierced his heart to the spear, and they were stamping, means dancing around him and on his body, and they always knew that it was you. And therefore last line is that, daddy, daddy, you bastard, I am through. Means now finally I am through, means I am done, I am done with you. Means you and that husband who I got married and I trusted, he was completely like you. So here the poem is about a kind of reflection of Sylvia's life, how she had failed towards her father and towards her husband. See, she married Ted Hughes only because he was a lookalike of her father. Okay, but she has always been haunted by the memories of her father. And therefore the title of the poem is Daddy, and poem 70 or 80% speaks about her father, not about Ted Hughes. Only couple of, means one stanza or couple of lines about her husband, and that is also of a betrayal. So what do you think about this poem of Sylvia Plath, which is also one of my favorite poem? Do write in the comment section, and please, if you have liked my explanation, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.